Greetings, everybody. Never mind this dark room, because the conversation matches the theme. I want to say that there are a lot of persons in the world that are called wicked, and it's so easy to just look at them and judge them. But we fail to understand that people, other persons, do things to them and brought them to where they're at. Sometimes people push you and push you, and especially if you're a person who is quiet, especially if you're a person who is patient, they push you and push you to the limit. Let's take, for example, at work. Some of you go to work, leave your house with the best intention to go and make a livelihood. And when you get there, you meet upon some vampires who insist on draining your energy. Some people, they're not the ones paying you. You're not threatening their job. And they will do everything in their power to cancel your peace. You got people in your family, the ones who are supposed to provide you with a real community. And these ones would do things to you. They push you, they back you in a corner, they provoke you, they tempt you, they take disadvantage of you. And you have always been good. You have loved them unconditionally until one day they break you. There are people in relationship and you give everything until there's nothing else to give. And they do things to you, undermine you, underestimate you, do you all kinds of manner of evil until one day you turn a corner and you become the other. So it's not everyone that you see do things that you could consider to be horrible that was bad. Everyone's story is different. Watch how you deal with people. Watch how you add effort with force against other persons, because people are human beings, and in one hand they hold good, and in the other they hold what is considered to be bad. The balance, the scale cannot be balanced without both. And it is our intention that demonstrate good and what is considered to be evil. They push you, they push you, they push you until they back you up against a wall. And no human being, nobody wants to be backed against a wall, because guess what? Life is precious. And when your back is against the wall, you're going to do what you need to do to live, not just survive. Back the animal up against the corner. Even the plant has a defense mechanism. The animal will poison itself. The bee will never sting you unless you're provoking it or unless it feels threatened. The bee knows that if I sting you one time, I'm not going to live. So it doesn't want to sting you. It's not like the wasp. The bee doesn't want to sting you. The beautiful rose has thorns. The very plant, like the ackee tree, for example, the national dish, if it doesn't open up and say, I'm ready, you can enjoy me, it will poison you. The point of all of these references or these anecdotes is to say that there are times when people push you to the point where you've got no choice but to draw from your source, from your well of darkness. Because nobody wants to see arrows coming at them and just stand there and wait for it. Nobody's going to do that. You are going to either run. Those of you who surrender to it, you were broken. And usually the story is somebody did that to you. Every one of us have our story. Every one of us have our pain. Every one of us have our trauma. And the most disrespectful thing I know or hear is when people telling you, oh, get over it or move on or forget it. And quick telling you when you have lost. When people have destroyed your life, they say, oh, don't worry, get over it. You'll be okay. Just start over. And I want to say to people when they say this to me, to do the horizontal tango in fire. Good people can change to become dark, wicked because of other people. You don't see what the other people have done or are doing to the person who you know is ready to judge. Speak nice. We tell people, speak nice. Oh, I've had people say, oh, I don't expect you to do that when I hail the F-bombs. People say, oh, be calm and ignore. And until you're walking in the person's shoes, you cannot tell people how to feel, how to be. You can't tell them when to get over. Some people will just forget it right away because they haven't had that one situation yet where they're at a crossroad and they don't know where to turn. And after years of pushing and pulling and tugging and provocation that they've had to endure, at that crossroad, they switch. There's a lot of things you're seeing happening in Jamaica, for example. And when we see the news, oh, we feel so bad, but you don't know the ones who transform from good to what is considered bad, how much they had to endure. And the ones who are quietly behind the scene, provoking people to wrath. When they get the handle, when they get the blade, you see their story and you feel sorry for them. Some of them deserve it. Some of them deserve it. Some of them deserve the fire, the flame, the fury. Some of them deserve it. And I don't want to hear from anybody talking to me about no forgiveness. Because the most powerful people in this earth do not forgive nobody. The only person I forgive these days is myself. And even that I struggle with. There's so many of us who are so wounded. We're so deeply traumatized. If we didn't have spirit, OMG, we would be just like any other wicked person on the earth. We try to bind that negative energy. We try to use spiritual practice to comfort us and to keep us. But there's some things I will never get over. And a lot of things I feel like I've forgiven. Something happens and the trigger, it'll be years of counseling and meditation to keep that under subjection. I will never forget my journey, my pain, or my suffering. And the ones who cause it, I sometimes distance myself from them, separate myself from them, have no encounter at all. But sometimes even their name is a trigger. And when these ones continue, to stand in my face and continue to put something in that wound and twist it, let me tell you, Jenny, the peacemaker, the nature lover, can become the nanny. And I am teetering towards nanny because I had enough. If you feel like you've had enough, understand that there is power within your own hands to restore balance in your own life. I have no problem with both, because without each, love and hate, peace and war, light and darkness, there can be no balance. I'd rather stay on the side of light. But Shango, he's always with me. I love the sweet smells of spring and summer, but I love the coolness of the fall and winter. This is not a poem. This is just me speaking from my heart. That's why I'm not religious. The blood of my ancestors, they boil in my veins. And I keep to myself. I don't bother people. And whenever I do give my opinion and thoughts and call other people's name, I try to be balanced and fair. But in my real life, I stay by myself. I love people from a distance in general. I don't like crowds. I don't like a whole bunch of people. I don't like even being around a whole bunch of women. I love women. I'll celebrate women, but I don't love women all over me and in my space and in my house. And I live a single life, even though I am a married woman. And by that, I mean, I have my own individuality and I allow my partner to have his own. I love my space. I value it. My children have never bring anybody home. They never ask. And when I ask them, why haven't you? They're like, we just understand. This is our sacred space. And we're careful about who we invite in it. I've been pushed. And I've been patient. And now I'm ready. I'm ready to embrace and understand the other side of midnight. Stay blessed, everyone.